Chapter 13. Michael. Discovery. Raguel sighs and drops a file in front of Michael. Watchers have records of seeing him for years in the same area, Fanuel adds. Michael takes the file and flips the pages over. These are Mathias's signatures. He knew that Nergal was making those visits for years. So what caused Mathias to attack this demon? That's not what we have to prove. We have to prove that Nergal killed Mathias. And there was intent. Faguel pipes up. Raguel nods. That, and we don't have a lot to go on. Does hell get access to these? It's discovery, so yes, Raguel says. But we get their data, too. What data do they have? Michael asks. Nothing in the file for Nergal they sent that we didn't already know. Fanuel speaks up again. Because, well, they simply have to defend our attacks on them. Like Nergal did with Mathias, Michael asks. We need to know what instigated this, if they knew one another, spoke to each other. Michael drops the file back down on the table and stands. Get me something else. There's little we can go on, and death hates speculation. We know that, sir. Raguel sits down next to his brother. Who do you plan to question next? Michael asks. We wish to question Cassiel, and then we want to have Beelzebub on the stand to question his leadership motives. Nergal was his. Michael nods, but still can't understand what questioning Beelzebub would do. But he doesn't object. He stands and grabs his jacket off the back of the chair. Leave a note with my office if you need something. I'll check back in. Where are you going, sir? I have lots of responsibilities, not just those for this trial, gentlemen. He nods. Again, if you need me, reach out. Call my office. Yes, sir. Fanuel stands, but his brother looks at him sternly, so he slowly sits back down. Michael smiles. Gentlemen. He exits the room and chuckles to himself, pulling the door closed. What's so funny? Gabriel falls in step with him. Raguel and Fanuel are like oil and water. They don't get along, and they don't mix well. I mean, they know what they're doing, he says softly. They're the best we have when it comes to the law that makes up these treaties. I don't disagree, but Raguel has a heavy hand. Michael shrugs. Not your style. Gabriel laughs as they walk. I find that hard to believe with as pushy as you can sometimes be. I am not pushy, Michael argues. How are the halls? They are lovely. Lots of extra power, lots of new souls coming in. It's all going well. Numbers are right where they need to be. Anything strange? No, but we did get a few infant souls that were a little strange. Very powerful. We had to rebox them, but that happens from time to time. New heavens? Michael asks. Very robust souls. It's in the file on your desk, Gabriel says. I think Ariel has Cassiel calmed down right now. I should check in on him. We have him. He's fine, Gabriel argues. He's lost a man. As a host, he is not fine, Michael says. Give him time. How are his animals? As far as I know, he's fine, back in his room, his forest. Gabriel sighs. Animals, too. Let him rest, then, Michael nods. Raguel and Fanuel do wish to question him. I don't know if that's a good idea, Gabriel sighs. He sobs every time we bring it up. I'll work on that. Michael stalls his steps at his door. I'm going to get a nap, he says. I'm kinda tired. Sure, I can handle things up here. Gabriel pats his arm and moves down the hallway. Michael steps inside his room and closes the door before he waves a hand to change his clothes, and he teleports out of his room to Earth. Michael is the first to arrive at the penthouse this time. He walks around and moves things. He uses a miracle to make sure a bottle of cognac is available, and he does lift the phone and follow the instructions to order room service. Their usual dinners just delivered to the room. Beelzebub does arrive a few hours later. He walks through the door and smiles before closing the door behind him. "You picked up that quickly." Michael smiles. "I have questions." "I'm not talking about the baby." Beelzebub holds up his hands. "It's not about that." Michael smiles. "But you were adorable." Beelzebub folds his arms over his chest, and Michael stands up and comes to him. "You smelt of vanilla, and there was a buzzing, soft, but I could hear it." Beelzebub nods and shucks out of his jacket and sits down on an oversized chair. "So I am the demon of gluttony. Sometimes I can smell vanilla, lavender, or sugar." He shrugs. "The buzzing? Well, I am the Lord of the Flies." He taps his arms. "You've seen the tattoo." "I thought it was metaphorical." "More like, metaphysical." Beelzebub shrugs. "I buzz like a bee if I need to. It helps calm children, and some animals as well." "Your human name is Benjamin Hive." Michael smiles. "Like a buzzing beehive." "Do you want a gold star for that impressive deduction?" Beelzebub smirks. "I chose it because it was easy." He reaches in his jacket pocket and tosses out a black leather wallet with ID cards and information. "I have all the relevant paperwork." "Why?" Michael picks up the wallet. "Why would you want to pass as a human?" "In case one day I have to. Remember, we aren't in heaven downstairs." He smiles. "If souls stop coming, we're just as well off as the hybrids are." "My people want to put you on the stand," Michael says, and leans back on the sofa, tossing the wallet back on the table. Beelzebub picks it up and pockets it again. "I expected it." He gestures out. "Mine want to speak to Mathias as boss." "I don't know if Cassiel is fit to take the stand," Michael says. "May not have a choice," Beelzebub reminds him. "I only have a few hours," he says. "I can't be gone for long." "Me either. So I ordered dinner. It's on its way up," Michael points out. "A cognac for you." "Miracles are real," Beelzebub smiles. "He can be taught." "I just want you to be happy." Beelzebub smiles. "Is that all?" "Yes." The knock comes to the door before more can be said. "Room service." Beelzebub stands up and gets out his wallet and pulls out some cash. "You have to give them money. It's called a tip," he suggests, and opens the door. Michael watches Beelzebub give the man some money after leaving the tray. The man leaves, closing the door behind him. Beelzebub reaches down to the plates and lifts them, taking them over to the coffee table that divides the sitting room. Beelzebub sets them down before he removes the silver toppers off and returns them to the cart to bring back silverware and the drinks. He steps across in the other direction to grab the cognac and 2 small glasses off the bar and the ice bucket. "Get started," he says, and comes back. Michael picks up his fork and picks at his fish. "If we take Nergal's life, Heaven would like to support Quilla and the child." "How so?" Beelzebub asks, sitting down, using tongs to place ice into the glasses. "She lives in heavenly territories, and if we take away the one thing that has been a constant in her life, we will make sure she has nothing to worry about. And if she won't accept your help..." Beelzebub pours the cognac into 2 glasses before lifting his own to his lips and taking a sip. What will you do? Just feel guilty forever? Michael takes a bite of his fish and chews while thinking. He swallows and shrugs. I'm not sure. I just want to do what's right. Beelzebub reaches across and takes his free hand, and they eat like that, in near silence. Look, maybe we should stop this, he says, setting his fork down beside his food. Maybe, Michael says, but discards his fork and stands, pulling Beelzebub along. I haven't finished my food. Beelzebub motions back. I don't care, Michael says, and pushes him towards the bedroom. I want you, I will have you, and you will agree. Beelzebub smiles. I can eat it later, he says of the food, and turns to the bedroom. His eyes flash. Shit! He covers them. What is it? He looks the demon over. What just happened to your eyes? Beelzebub looks nervous, looking this way and that. I have to go. I can't explain. Beelzebub kisses him fiercely and fast before teleporting away. Michael stands in the wake of it and sighs as he shakes his head. He looks over at the chair. He walks around and lifts Beelzebub's jacket and smells deep. The smells of vanilla with floral notes. Michael decides that he can't leave the jacket here. He folds the coat over his arm and teleports back to his room in heaven, content to return it to Beelzebub the next time they're to meet. He lays the jacket over the arm of his armchair, but notes something in the pocket. He reaches in and pulls out the silver cigarette case and lighter. Oh, no. He turns to his desk and grabs a manila envelope and slides them inside. He addresses the package and lifts it. Addressed to hell. With any luck, it will go straight to Beelzebub. He'll make sure the jacket is returned by hand. He sighs, starts to sign a few forms, waiting for him in his inbox, and drops them in his outbox where they vanish. He closes his eyes and leans back in his chair and shakes his head. Why is this so hard? He sighs. A knock comes to his door, and perhaps it's best he's returned. Enter. Raphael walks in and shuts the door slowly behind him. Hey, can I talk to you? About what? Michael clears his desk. Cassie, he smiles. Raguel came in and asked him to testify. There's not much I can do about that, Michael says softly and shrugs. You look different. Raphael reaches up and pushes long hair behind his ears. His nails are showing. Frigg helped me with some things for the trial, and I think I like them. Nail paints and jewelry, Michael smiles. It's nice to see you smile. You haven't for a long time. Life has been very monotonous as of late, and while I would never wish Mathias dead, this has allowed for us to be away from heaven in ways we haven't been before. Michael nods. I know. I went to Earth. You did? That is surprising, and it's been ages since Raphael last went. I saw a waterfall, he smiles. It was beautiful. Most of God's creation is beautiful, Michael says. Some of it is capable of great evil, but some of it is just pure. Like a waterfall? Like a waterfall. A canyon may be something you might like to see, too. The sights can be amazing. Michael smirks. I like food sometimes as well. The music on occasion. Raphael turns to the TV and VCR on the table. You like their films, too. He gestures to the shelves covered in movies and books. Mostly informational ones called documentaries that speak of real-world events, he explains. We keep our hands out, but I like knowing what happened even if I wasn't there. You do, Raphael beams. For being best friends, I feel like I don't know you half as well as I should. What sort of foods do you eat when you're there? Wine, fish, sometimes cake. Michael looks up. There are these fried potatoes. He groans a bit. Raphael frowns. Humans can eat fish. Humans, demons, hybrids, all can eat almost any creature in one form or another. There are exceptions to that rule, but yes. I want to know more about the Earth. Cassiel would be a good place to start. His people are all over it. He motions to his television. There are some videos I can show you, but they don't do the places any justice. You really must see them with your own eyes. Why doesn't Cassie go to Earth? I don't know. Michael shrugs. Never thought to ask him. Perhaps we should. Raphael beams at him. Michael smiles in agreement. I think you might be right.